Hi, I'm Amit Reddy. So for this task, I worked on analyzing a web server log dataset using Python. The dataset contains HTTP request logs, which include details like the host, timestamp, requested URL, status code, and responsive size. So one interesting thing about this dataset is that the hosts are not actual IP addresses. Instead, they are labeled as local and remote. I understood that this was done to anonymize the data. To start with to start, I first loaded the log file and parsed each line using regular expression. After extracting the required fields, I converted the data into a structured format using Pandas data frame. So then I worked on cleaning the timestamp field. I removed the time zone and converted it into proper date time format. From that, I extracted useful features like date and hour, which helped in doing time-based analysis. I also extracted file extension from the URLs so that I could understand what type of files were being requested the most. After preparing the data, I performed multiple analyses. First, I calculated total number of requests, which gives an idea of the dataset size. Then I looked at the number of unique hosts. Since the dataset uses only local and remote, the count came out to be 2, which is expected. Next, I analyzed the status code. I found that most of the requested return status code 200, which means successful responses. There were also some 404 errors, which indicate missing and unavailable resources. I also calculated the total amount of data transferred per day to understand traffic load, and I checked how many requests were made each hour to see usage patterns over time. In addition, I identified the most common field types requested by users and also the most requested URLs. Finally, I looked at the most active host, which again showed the distribution between local and remote requests. From this analysis, a few key insights stood out. Most of the traffic were successful, but there are some errors, responses that could indicate broken links and missing files. Also, the user activity varies across different hours, which can be useful for understanding peak usage times. One small challenge I faced was correctly parsing the log format and handling the timestamp conversion. But once that was done, the rest of the analysis became straightforward. Overall, this project helped me in understanding how real world log data can be processed and analyzed to extract useful insights. Thank you.